Oakland Police Department confirms that it has now opened an investigation after a KTVU special report found on-duty officers making late-night visits to a karaoke bar that offers private rooms. Now, KTVU's Eric Rasmussen is hearing from the police chief and community activists for the first time.
In an investigation that lasted several nights, we watched two Oakland police officers in uniform and on the clock making repeat visits to this private room karaoke bar on 14th Street, a place where our camera also recorded a minivan dropping off women in skimpy clothing night after night. Community activist Todd Walker is among those demanding answers from police.
Why are you there? I mean, are you there at the same time when somebody's losing their child out here on these streets?
He says his work as a youth football coach with at-risk kids and his job at a local funeral home have convinced him Oakland doesn't have enough police in areas where they're needed the most.
And while we losing all these kids and we burying all these kids, we picking these bodies up in these funeral homes, he's out here hanging around in a karaoke bar, riding through the parking lot. Ain't nothing going on in the parking lot. Ride through the neighborhood. Let these people see.
One of the police officers seen in our video, Sergeant Warren Young, told us he has a friend at the bar and that his visits were to perform security checks. A regular patron at the bar told us private rooms rent for $200 to $500. And while Sergeant Young insisted there's nothing illegal going on, today Police Chief Howard Jordan released a statement to KTVU saying, "I take these allegations very seriously, and the department opened investigations as soon as the circumstances were brought to my attention. A complete review will determine whether the alleged on or off-duty conduct is in line with our policies and the department's core values, including trust, professionalism, and service. Because these are open investigations, I am limited in what can be discussed." Our questions about the spending of public money by Port of Oakland officials first led us to that karaoke bar. It is now also part of a larger investigation here at the port.
Some members of the Oakland Police Department have taken an unusual interest in a private room karaoke bar, a place where they say they're doing nothing wrong, but neighbors worry could be involved in prostitution. KTVU first investigated the business after discovering a Port of Oakland official was reimbursed for spending public money there. Now, only on 2, KTVU's Eric Rasmussen with new video raising questions about what Oakland police officers are doing on the clock.
Over 4 nights, we watched the same scene play out at Cafe Juliet on 14th Street in Midtown Oakland. Each night, our camera recorded women in skimpy clothing filing into the downstairs business that bills itself as a private room karaoke bar. A minivan dropped off as many as 7 women at a time.
Maybe we're like, what's going on down there? You know, is this like some kind of a, weird prostitution thing going on? Or
neighbor Anka Mashoyu and others say the scene we observed has been going on for years, but she told us it's not just the women and mostly male clientele that have her concerned.
We've seen a police officer kind of go in and out, sometimes at night, sometimes there's a police car parked out here for a couple of hours.
On our first night outside the bar, a marked Oakland police cruiser parked right in front of us. Moments later, we watched Sergeant Warren Young go inside. Shortly after he left, the women began arriving. The next night, Young's cruiser was back again, but it was another uniformed officer in another patrol car who parked and went inside. Officer Barry Coe made 2 visits to Cafe Juliet that night. The second lasted 27 minutes. As soon as Coe left, just before midnight, Sergeant Young returned. On his 3rd pass of the night, Young drove through the parking lot next to Cafe Juliet using his spotlight on the cars, just as we saw him do the night before. Pardon me, Sergeant. Eric with Channel 2. Just a quick question for you. Cafe Juliet on 14th Street?
Yeah, what about it?
Why are you there night after night?
Because my friend works there.
Sergeant Young spoke to us outside Oakland Police Headquarters. Are you doing this as a favor to your friend?
No. I said, my friend works there. Not owner, not anything else.
But is that the reason you're giving this what seems to be a lot of your
time? No, I only go down there when I'm off, and I stay there for length of time.
Young offered a different explanation when we told him about our video of him visiting the bar in uniform during his shift.
Well, when I'm working, I do a security check there. Because what happens is that, can we talk off camera for a second and I'll tell you what's going on?
He said he couldn't elaborate because of an investigation, but Young insists there's nothing illegal happening inside Cafe Juliet. Okay. And I had a regular tell me flat out, you can get girls here. Does that concern you to hear that?
No, that is completely untrue. Well, I can't say for the fact because I don't follow those people home, right?
Can you tell us what kind of business is being run here?
Karaoke bar.
We found the bar's manager, John, out front. What about all the girls we see come in here every night?
See any girl coming here right now?
Well, we've seen girls.
Any police officer should know, as you and I should know, what's going on in there. It's not singing karaoke.
We showed our video to former Alameda County Sheriff Charles Plummer. He says the Oakland Police Department should be questioning what its officers are doing here.
I would start an immediate investigation. Absolutely. Right now.
Plummer, with more than 50 years in law enforcement, doesn't believe we stumbled into an ongoing investigation.
If they were checking on this place, it wouldn't be a uniform that would be doing it. It'd be plainclothes people.
Oakland Mayor Jean Quan says she expects Police Chief Howard Jordan will investigate.
If he has this information, if he has these tapes, he will investigate it, and I have confidence that if there is any misconduct, that he will do the right thing.
So far, Chief Jordan has not responded to our repeated requests to interview him, Officer Coe, or anyone with the department's command staff.